Hey guys, welcome to Lake Stevens Auto Detailing. Today we've got this pretty cool 2023 Toyota Tacoma TRD off-road. The last year, the V6, and it's got a 3.5 inch rough country lift with about 33 inch tires. We're going to be doing it inside and out. I screwed up and forgot to do a little before video, so I just got these pictures here which I'll show you, and then we'll cut right into getting this thing vacuumed out and getting it cleaned up. So it's not too dirty, but it does need a little bit of attention here. So we'll get this thing cleaned up and looking new. It's only got about 3,000 miles on it. Fairly low mileage, and yeah, I'm kind of curious, do you guys like the 4-cylinder turbo Toyota Tacoma, or do you prefer the tried and true V6 model? Let me know in the comments below. I personally like the older ones as well as the newer ones. I can't speak as to the long-term reliability of the 2024 and up Toyota Tacomas, but it is nice that they have 8-speed automatic transmission, so we got an extra 2 gears. Plus we've got more torque, 317 foot-pounds at a fairly low RPM, so you're going to have a lot better low-end grunt, which is nice. I think as long as you take care of the truck, change the oil every 5,000 miles, and just keep up on your regular maintenance, it should last fine. The only thing is, if you're going to be towing, I think that the V6 might get better gas mileage, because when you dip into the gas pedal and you're getting heavy in the boost, you're going to be sucking the MPGs down pretty significantly, even with the 8-speed. You can't kind of get around that. You got to put your foot into it. So time will tell, but yeah, that's kind of my opinion on the older versus newer Toyota Tacomas. Now in this detail, I was kind of fighting with the weather. It was sprinkling off and on, and then it started downpouring and raining off and on, so I was kind of fighting with the weather. I didn't get as much video as I wanted on this detail, but I got what I could, and we got this thing spruced up and cleaned up pretty good. The vacuuming actually wasn't too bad, even though these Toyota carpets aren't my most favorite to be vacuuming. There wasn't any really grit and junk that was ground in there, so there were some areas where I hit it up with the drill brush, but for the most part it just vacuumed up. Going over it repeatedly did the job, so it wasn't too bad. And this thing does have aftermarket seat covers for the front and rear, so these normally has cloth seats, but he's got kind of synthetic leather seat covers on there just to try to make it a little bit more comfortable, a little extra padding, and kind of save the cloth seats underneath from wearing down as much. Now I noticed there was some junk stuck into the weather stripping seal on the door, so I went and go ahead and vacuum that up too as well while I was vacuuming the floor mats and the carpets and stuff. That doesn't take long, and it just makes a noticeable difference. Just when you're looking, pop the door open there and you don't see any dirt or anything, I think that makes an overall better look. And there wasn't much on there, so I just quickly vacuumed that up. Now that I'm done vacuuming everything up, we're going to go ahead and wipe down the seats and the door jambs. Pretty much get split this truck into quarters, and we'll just wipe everything down and then move on to the next area. So we'll get all the seat covers, center console, door jambs, door panels, all that good stuff. Get that all in one fell swoop. That way we don't miss things. The door panels were pretty clean, as well as the door jambs, but we're just giving the entire surface of the door and the door panel a nice wipe down, giving it a spray of the P&S interior cleaner, and then go ahead and wipe it down with the soft microfiber cloth. It was kind of interesting material. Some of the door panel was, I'm not really sure what kind of, some sort of like soft, I'm not even really sure. It's not a cloth or anything, and it's not any sort of leather, but it's some sort of synthetic material, so it kind of looked funny when I wet wiped it, but it dried off. But it was just kind of interesting material that I hadn't noticed before or seen before in another vehicle. This truck wasn't dirty, like I said before, wasn't too dirty, but I did have to wipe down some of the door sills and door panels down a couple times, just because I was kind of fighting with the rain and I wanted to keep the vehicle nice and dry. So just had to wipe down some of those areas a couple times just to keep the rain off, and then the rain would subside and stop, and so I'd wipe the panels down, get them all nice and dry, and then we'd be good. So I'm just measuring off the soap for my 2-bucket wash method, and then I got a separate one for the wheels and tires. I'm using 4 ounces of the Stoner Car Care, approximately 4 ounces for the washing the main body and stuff, and then the wheels and tires I use 3 ounces of that. And I was going and grabbing some chemicals and stuff, the iron remover and the wax protection and stuff like that, and I kind of forgot about the hose. It was filling kind of slowly, and then I was like, whoops. So I ended up using some of that water in the other bucket, so no harm, no foul there. But yeah, the water pressure wasn't the best at this location, so it was filling kind of slow, and I wasn't paying attention as much as I should have. But that's alright. We got this thing filled up, and we're going to be washing this thing shortly here, get this thing all cleaned up. There was a cardboard box in the back of this truck bed, and it kind of disintegrated. I was asked to kind of wash it out, so I pulled the tonneau cover back, peeled the chunks of cardboard, the bigger chunks, and then we're just gonna rinse the bed down. It's a composite bed, just like the older Toyota Tacoma, so it's pretty easy to rinse out. Same as if it was just a painted bed, but with the if you have bed liner or Linex or anything like that, Raptor line or anything similar, it's a little bit harder because it's kind of a grippy surface, but this composite it's fairly smooth, so it kind of washes down fairly easy. So just took a couple minutes to blast all that junk out there, and the customer will be happy. These wheels and tires weren't too bad. There was some brake dust and stuff kind of griming up the interior spokes of the wheels, but part of maintaining the wheels and tires is keeping them washed regularly and keeping them cleaned and everything. So just keeping up on scrubbing them regularly and getting them all cleaned up is going to help keeping them looking nice for a while. Now I'm using the Chemical Guys medium bristle brush for the tires that helps agitate that dirt and get that out of there, and then a soft brush for the inside fender liner and a little bit of the inside frame area. So we'll get the grit and dirt and stuff out of there and get these things looking real nice and clean. This is a view of the front passenger wheel. You can kind of see in that very first split second shot that you could see the brake dust on there. So we're going to get this thing all cleaned up and scrubbed up, and it'll be looking a lot nicer. So I can use my wheel woolly for most of the wheel, and then I'll get my detail brush in there and get in all the little nooks and crannies and corners and get this thing looking nice and clean. As you can see, there's some dirt on the wheels and tires, and we'll get some of that tire browning off of there, getting them look nice and clean with that stiffer brush. Yeah, you can tell with the DIY All Clean, it does a good job of breaking down that dirt as long as you agitate it properly. And Then we'll move on to foaming the truck down and getting the main body of the truck all washed and cleaned up here. One nice thing about detailing in the rain, even if you're having to do an interior and exterior, when you're doing the exterior detail, at least you don't have to worry about your soap and your chemicals drying. So that's one nice thing, is you're not necessarily in a big rush to do sections of the vehicle at a time because the sun is out and it's too warm or anything like that. So the rain does help from time to time give you a little more working time to get the vehicle washed and detailed and decontaminated and everything cleaned up nicely. And we're going to be using the Sonex spray and rinse for the first time because it was raining off and on. I didn't use my regular ceramic gloss or the Turtle Wax hybrid ceramic sealant just because it was raining, so I wanted a clear coat protection option where I could just spray it on and rinse it off, and we'll test that out here a little later. So we're just going through and getting everything scrubbed down on this truck, getting the tailgate, the emblems, the bumpers, and pretty much everything all scrubbed up and cleaned up. So we're ready to move on to the next step, which would be the iron decontamination and the clay bar treatment, and then we'll move on to the clear coat protection here shortly. It is nice every once in a while not to get a vehicle that's completely destroyed and just slaughtered in terms of condition. It's nice getting ones that are kind of mildly dirty, so you're not breaking your back doing the detail. So that was nice that this vehicle, the condition wasn't too bad at all. Just needed a good scrub, and it brought it back to life here. So wasn't too much effort to put into it to get it back to clean. So keep on watching, and you'll see this thing transform. Overall, I was impressed with the Sonax spray and rinse. It provided really great hydrophobic water shielding properties. It's the first time I had used it, and I was quite pleasantly surprised. Didn't take a whole lot of sprays for coverage of the whole vehicle, so that was kind of cool. And yeah, just spray on and rinse off. You just don't want to let it dry, but when it's kind of raining outside, that's a real easy no-brainer there. They're all cleaned up in there.